We have been hearing about ISO 20022 for a very long time when it comes to XRP, but a lot of people are kind of confused on what it really means and what it is going to do for the entire banking industry. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Also, if you're not already following me on all social media platforms, you need to now to never miss a future update. And also join the free Discord to get a ton of access to a plethora of value, and also to make sure that you are crushing this cycle and taking a ton of profits. And it is completely free down in the description below. Now, let's dive on into this post here from Anderson, going all the way back to 2023. And this is actually regarding Bob Way, who was a former Ripple employee, on just why ISO 20022 is extremely helpful to Ripple's bank sales team. ISO 20022 is way bigger than you might think at first. These are not my words, but the words of Bob. Now, check this out. So this was around March of 2023. And I want to zoom in here real quick just so that you guys can see. So we have, I'm not sure I could add a lot of insight. I'm sure things have changed a lot, but just for clarity, ISO 20022 is way bigger than you might think at first. It replaces the previous Swift standards MT and MX and adds a lot of other things. And he builds on top of this. We go back here to even 2022. The reason this 20022 transition is extremely helpful to Ripple's bank sales team is this means that every bank is required to implement new technology. Banks hate to change an already working process. Change can introduce new problems, which means bankers get fired. And also over here, this is the #1 reason most bank integrations don't happen. New system development is expensive and risky. Mistakes can generate bank losses or fines. Bankers get fired. The person you are negotiating with must have product budget, development budget, risk appetite. With a mandatory 20022 change happening, the person you are negotiating with only needs to have 1, product budget. Money for development has already been allocated elsewhere. Nobody gets fired for following a mandate. That means, or that makes, the sale a much easier lift for Ripple. And then also over here, that being said, bank software sales is still a hard process, especially with the SEC suit still adding FUD to the process. But even if banks wait for a settlement, their 20022 upgraded system becomes much easier for Ripple to integrate with them. The biggest impact is going to be that even smaller banks are going to be upgrading their systems. That creates a much larger pool of on-demand liquidity compatible banks. Smaller banks get the most benefit from on-demand liquidity. It lets them cut the larger correspondent banks out of their flow and cost. And yes, this is leveling the playing field, if you will. Now, ISO 20022 is still a big thing today. In fact, recently, Volante, they put out a post on August 1st. And this is 2024 Financial Survey, Banks' Confidence in Real-Time Payments. ISO 20022 and open banking remain steady. Surprised? And within this, this is their new report on this. If we scroll down real quick, we could see, did or will your payment solution implementation involve a payments as a service delivery model? And we have yes, 92%, no, 8%. If yes, is your cloud strategy, and we have cloud-based solution managed by the financial institution, which is 49%. Vendor providing cloud-based payments as a service, 33%. Own data center is 18%. Now, if we look into this a little bit more, we have what's top of the mind for payments leaders. 35% of North American banks feel confident meeting ISO compliance for domestic clearing versus only 19% of European bankers. 44% plans to implement a new payment solution in the next 6 months. 90% of correspondent indicated that payments as a service delivery model will be a part of their payment solution implementation. 64% of bankers surveyed indicate that budgets allocated towards payments modernizations will increase. And then 31% of banks consider deployment of new technologies as their biggest budget priority. And that is a big focus for me, considering the fact that as we really look at new technologies, they're talking about DLT, they're talking about blockchain, they're talking about, payments around API solutions. And we already know that Volante has also been really pushing the ISO 20022 narrative as of lately. Just recently on July 29th, for an example, they said the ISO 20022 clock is ticking. Our solution gets you Fedwire ready in just 14 weeks. And this is very interesting in terms of the clients that are here. We have Volante, Payment Practice Group, and then Celent. Remember that Celent is the same company that was at the Ripple Swell 2019 event back in 2019. Specifically, this individual here on the left, you could see her, right? She is a big player behind Celent now, and even over here, we actually have this video that I shared in a recent video, and this got posted by Cryptotainment, and this is the post here of the Ripple Swell 2019. She is a senior analyst at Celent. She name drops XRP and XLM at Swift Cbos discussion about integration of cryptocurrency with legacy infrastructure. Check it out.
And we're seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP, Stellar Lumens, and stablecoins like USDC playing an important role in getting that wheel to turn and deliver the internet of value. Also, the introduction of central bank digital currencies will accelerate the mainstreaming of digital assets. I'd say my third, coming to the crown jewel here, cryptocurrencies are gaining legitimacy as a new asset class. When the Bitcoin paper first came out, it was going to be the missing link, the internet of value, a medium of exchange. But as we know, Bitcoin failed as a medium of exchange for legal activities. Then the pivot was to blockchain, distributed ledger technology as the new disruptor. Now we're seeing Bitcoin as in the lead as a new digital asset class, which has profound implications. It's been initially driven by retail investors. Now we're seeing institutional investors enter the game. And with institutional investors, you get more sophisticated demand. And that certainly is going to accelerate developments in decentralized finance. And we're seeing.
And yes, this is exactly how we start to see that integration process happening, right? As we really look at XRP and XLM to fully be embraced and integrated within the global financial system, we need a standardized model. We need something like ISO 20022 that puts a lot of mandatory pressure on these big banks to finally mandate their internal processes and change over. That's why this mandate around banks finally upgrading their internal processes is so significant. And this is also why I focus on what Volante and these big players are now telling us, which is the fact that, yeah, the modernization priorities of banks now are growing and their focus is on new technologies. And even over here, we have a richer data layer can be overlaid onto proven systems like Swift through token technology with cross-border payment systems like Ripple. Big shout out to Smoke Dog for this. Here we actually have that full quote, and cross-border payment systems being developed by players such as Ripple. And yes, this is the legacy infrastructure being integrated with DLT, blockchain, AI as a service as well. I mean, this is very, very significant. And then also over here, we have ISO 20022 data exchange. Plus, since the emerging financial platforms will require updated protocols to accommodate blockchain technology, Swift's castle-like headquarters in Belgium is likely to be a busy place for years to come. And this is all focused around ISO 20022 and emerging technologies, financial platforms, all around integration. Integration is the key, and here we have Swift can serve as a single access point to different blockchains, can be used to create and trade tokens across tokenization platforms as well. Here we have that full quote. This is crazy to say the least, but when we think about what David Schwartz told us, right, he said that it would be far better for Swift to come over to Ripple and ink a partnership and tap in because Swift does not do settlements and clearing. Ripple does in a very efficient way, and it could bring in a lot more money to Swift. It could innovate Swift fully. If Swift did embrace Ripple payments with XRP, it would push Swift into the digital age of payments immediately. This is why I focus on this. And also remember, the head of payments products at Ripple with Swift and Citi were all in a discussion together. We're going to talk about that in a second, but listen to what the head of payments products at Ripple did say about ISO 20022.
So ISO 20022 is a global standard for financial information exchange. This enables interoperability between different systems, straight through processing of payments, and rich data transfer. And it'll also foster competition because it's open and flexible. At Ripple, we've been aligned with ISO 20022 from day one. We've always recognized that this is the direction of payments and it'll be better for everyone. And we were really a first mover on that front. We've also joined the standard body to help contribute to how payments will shape in the future.
And they have been there since day one. In fact, Volante quoted them in this breakdown, and they said that no greater example of this can be found than in that of Ripple. The perennial Swift competitor announced in May of 2020 that it would join the ISO 20022 standards body as its first member based on DLT. Sitting at the heart of the change of everything will be ISO 20022. This is literally the thing that is going to change the entire payments landscape, the entire financial system as we know it, because it is going to open the door for integration of these new technologies. And here we actually have that new rails to the new worlds, building inclusive, innovative infrastructures for global payments. Literally, the key here is innovative infrastructures. This is with the head of payments at Swift, Citi, and Ripple. Check this out.
Pega, according to a report by Ripple and the Faster Payments Council, 97% of businesses surveyed believe that cryptocurrency and blockchain tech would have significant role enabling faster payments in the next 3 years. And more than 50% of surveyed payment executives believe that most merchants will accept crypto payments within 1 to 3 years. Can you talk about what Ripple has accomplished on the ground, such as addressing the liquidity challenges that hinder cross-border transactions globally, and what it will take to see these use cases increase over time?
Yeah. At Ripple, from the start, we focused on enterprises. And we started with the payments use case by building a network of financial institutions called RippleNet. This has since evolved into a platform for cross-border payments that offers crypto-native services like instant settlements and liquidity on top of this network. Today, we have hundreds of customers, including big banks, payment services, other non-bank financial institutions, and corporates using our product, with XRP at its core, with being the best digital asset for movement of value. As it relates to cross-border payments, the pain points are well understood by the industry. They're slow, it can be high cost, and the systems are often outdated and antiquated with fragmented technology, which means it can be really hard to innovate on top of, and there's no transparency in the payment experience. Digital assets can solve these problems and make the experience better for everyone, but to do so at scale, meaning the $150 trillion of annual cross-border payment flows, there's key areas that we need to address from a payments perspective. That's around usability, regulation, and interoperability. Interoperability in particular is quite key because the networks and ways of moving value are becoming more fragmented. There's more venues, more instruments, and with increasing tokenization, even more ways to send money from one place to another. Blockchain technology and crypto is complementary to the existing rails and networks. It's not about replacing them, but blockchain and crypto working hand in hand with fiat rails to provide a better experience for everyone. In certain markets like G20, maybe it's easier and the pain is less acute. So if you're a large enterprise sending money from the US to Europe, you may not have the same pain points as if you were a smaller company or medium-sized company sending value from a country in South America to one in South Asia. And that's where crypto can really help in the long tail of currencies where liquidity doesn't exist abundantly today. As it relates to crypto liquidity, pre-2017, liquidity was really limited to a handful of exchanges and was only a few $1 million a day. That has dramatically changed over the last few years. And a key driver of this has been the development of on and off ramps, which is how you get money or fiat into crypto and how you get crypto out back to fiat. Because today still the end consumer or the end user may want fiat or does want fiat at large. And the development of these on and off ramps has really enabled flourishing of crypto liquidity. At Ripple, we've been building this for many years, and our off-ramp network today covers 90% of the FX market globally. We've also focused on the enterprise use case to help crypto liquidity reach full scale. A lot of the on and off ramps traditionally or historically developed were focused on retail or institutional investing or trading, but that doesn't serve cross-border payments or point of sale use cases or other ones that really get crypto to full scale. When we look at crypto liquidity, we look at two factors to judge the usability for cross-border payments. One is how large is that payment that you can send instantly using crypto? And the second is, are you getting a cheaper rate than you would with traditional FX fiat rails? And the data that we pulled shows that both those things are proving to be true with RippleNet. So aside from blockchain and crypto's native characteristics to help payments around transparency, being global in nature, censorship resistant, and low cost, there's now also global liquidity to support the payments use case at scale.
And just think about what kind of discussion this actually is. The entire discussion is heavy about crypto liquidity, crypto and payments, the payments products at Ripple specifically that they offer through Ripple Payments, XRP at the center and the core of that. Now that Ripple is launching their stablecoin initiative as well, all of this is focused on payments in general. And what's funny about this, what's crazier about this entire viewpoint is that it's literally a discussion with the head of payments at Swift and Citi. This is insane. Now, I bring this back up because as we focus on everything that we just went over, it's very clear that the integration of crypto within the global financial system is happening, and Ripple and XRP are at the forefront of this. You almost have to be oblivious to ignore the facts here, especially considering the fact that Ripple has been at the forefront since day one, even around ISO 2022, around the Internet of Value, around utilizing crypto and blockchain for payments. They have been there since day one. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.